Welcome back to the GCSE Maths Pro YouTube channel. Today's video is the second part of cumulative frequency, where we'll be looking at using the graph to find the median and also the interquartile range. All these graphs are already drawn and plotted. If you want to go through how to plot a cumulative frequency graph, I will link it here and also down below in the description anyway. So jumping straight into it, this is normally probably going to be a part B or part C question if they've already made you draw the graph, but we're just going to focus on it as if it's the only part of the question. So the cumulative frequency graph shows some information about the weights in kilos of 40 dogs. They've given us the total. You can see at the top of this graph, it also comes to 40. Find the median weight. So the median means the middle, okay? That's quite straightforward. Most people know that. But then you're kind of thinking, well, the middle of what? The middle of the y-axis, the cumulative frequency, the middle of the x-axis, which is the weights. There's two things. One thing, the clue is the fact that they've asked for the median weight. Your answer will probably be a dotted line with kilos. So you know that your answer is going to have to be from the x-axis. The main thing we need to remember is the middle of what? So think about it. If you have 40 dogs lined up in front of you, imagine that they're lined up in size or weight order in this case. We want to know how much does the middle dog weigh. So let's say dog number 20. How much do they weigh? So you're always going to be looking at the cumulative frequency axis, the y-axis. Cumulative frequency, as we explained in the previous video, is a quantity. So that's why it goes up to 40, because there are 40 dogs. So what you're going to do when you're finding the median of anything from a cumulative frequency graph is go to the y-axis, or if it says in your question, check what the total is. In this case, we know it's 40 dogs. The median is the middle, which means half. So I'm just going to work out, first of all, what is half of 40? Which obviously is, in this case, 20, so dog number 20. Then grab your ruler and just draw a line across from 20. So it hits, obviously, the curve, and then go down and read off the x-axis. So we can see here, let's check, just be careful what the scale is as well of all these graphs. We've got 10 squares, but that represents 5 kilos. So each of the 2 squares is 1 kilo. That's 11, isn't it? 12, 13, 14. I would put that at 14. So the median is 14 kilos. The other clue is that obviously in your question, they normally have the answer line, don't they, where it then will give you units. So you can see that they'll probably give you kilos as your units here. So the middle dog, or the median weight, is 14 kilos. It's literally as simple as that, but you do have to remember half of what? It's half of the y-axis, okay? Okay, so for the next question, we've got the cumulative frequency graph shows some information about the heights in centimetres of 60 sunflowers. So again, we've got that total 60. And you can see here, the graph also goes up to 60. Find an estimate for the interquartile range of the height. Okay, so first of all, we need to remember what the interquartile range is in the first place, isn't it? So interquartile range is the upper quartile minus the lower quartile. It's a range between the two quartiles. That means I therefore need to work out the upper and the lower quartiles, and then I can subtract them. So the upper quartile relates again to the median. We said the median is the middle, which means halfway. The upper quartile is 3/4, or you might think of it as 75%. And again, it matches with the median. It's of the cumulative frequency of the total, in this case, sunflowers. So we want to know what is 3/4 of 60. The lower quartile is the same, but obviously being the lower one, it is just 1/4, or if you want to think about it as 25%, that's fine. So you just have to work out, let's do the lower quartile first. 1/4 of 60, so you can either do it in your calculator if it's a calculator test, or just divide it by 4, is 15. So I need to come to, in this case, imagine sunflower number 15. Draw a line across, always from the y-axis for this topic, and then down to the x-axis, about there. So that looks like it's 1 square along from 160. Check in scale, it's 1 square is just 1 centimetre, isn't it? So I would go with the lower quartile being 161 centimetres. Then for the upper quartile, do exactly the same, but obviously now not 1/4, we want 3/4. So either, again, do it in your calculator, or to find 3/4, it's just 1/4 times by 3. So 15 times by 3 in this case is 45. That's 3/4 of 60. Again, just draw a line across and then down. Okay, that I would say is 167. So the upper quartile is 167. And then the last thing, as we said, the interquartile range is obviously a range, so we're just going to subtract them. So 167 minus 161 is 6 centimeters. So the interquartile range is 6 centimeters. Again, it's in terms of the units of the x-axis, isn't it? So do you see how it's exactly the same as the median? The only difference in that sense is the median is at 50% and the upper and lower quartiles are at 25 and 75%. But the method is the same of going from the y-axis across and then down. Okay, so here we've got the cumulative frequency graph shows some information about the times in minutes it took 100 students to finish their homework. Part A, we want to find an estimate for the median time taken. So just repeating what we did before, this time we've got 100 students. So the median being half or 50%, we want to know where is student number 50, that's half, isn't it? So come to 50 on your graph on the y-axis, draw a line across and then down. Okay, this one's quite nice, you can see it's pretty much exactly on 60, isn't it there? So the median is 60, in this case minutes. Now they'll probably give you the units anyway in the answer box. Okay, part B, find an estimate for the interquartile range. So exactly what we just did in the previous question. We want to know the upper quartile and the lower quartile. So I normally start with the lower quartile because it's just 1/4, isn't it? That's the easiest one to start with, but it doesn't matter. So we've got 100 students. 1/4 is 25, isn't it? Now just be careful of the scale because naturally we kind of want to go here. But that's actually 30, isn't it? So here is actually 30. So 25 is going to be halfway again. Okay, so just be really careful of what scale they use because it can be different. So here's 25. And we go down. That's 1 square beyond 50, which luckily the scale at the bottom is just 1 square is 1 minute, right? So that's 51, the lower quartile. And then the upper quartile is 3/4. So we know that 3/4 is 75 or just 3 times 25. So again, be careful of this scale because this here, that's 70, isn't it? So then 75 is halfway further up. Okay, so there and then down. About here. Again, it's an estimate unless the graph is really obviously, like the 60 was quite obvious, wasn't it? Unless it's like that, they should give you a small range of possible answers, just in case your line isn't exactly in the same place as everyone else's. I would say, what's that? Either 67 or 68. Let's go with 68. Again, it should be fine with the range of answers they let us have. So just don't forget with the interquartile range, you do then actually have to work it out as a range. So take away 68 and 51, which should give us 17 centimeters. So that's our final answer for the interquartile range. It really is as straightforward as that. The key thing that I keep repeating is that you just need to remember from which axis are we working. For doing median and interquartile ranges, you have to do it from the y-axis and go across and then down. When we look at the next video, which goes through other options of what they could ask you as a part B or part C question, that's when we will be working from a different axis. We'll be working from the x-axis. So check out the next video and make sure that you're really clear on how to work out each different type of question. So thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, make sure to like and subscribe and leave down below any questions or comments that you might have.